Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'm Fadhil Ahmad Ghonni, and I'm going to explain to you what is deconstruction theory and who made it and what does it do in literature. But of course, I'm going to explain it to you with a simple and understandable sentences and the way that you guys gonna understand very easily and very quickly. But of course, I'm going to use my own media that I'm going to put on the screen, and this is the media. The poster I'm gonna put it. That's the poster. Yeah, I'm gonna put in my face slightly. Okay, and let's just start it. So before we jump into this construction theory, we need to know who exactly made this and who exactly developed this theory. Okay, so this is the guy. I'm gonna put the picture on the screen. Yeah, this is the guy, as you can see also in my poster. So this is Jacques Derrida. Who's this guy? Well, again, he's the one who developed this theory. So basically, Jacques Derrida was a French philosopher and literary theorist. Well, he's the famous one. He's famous back then. Who was born in 1930 in Algeria. Derrida is known as the founder of the construction theory, which he developed in the late 1960s, or more like 1967. In one of his work, which is Of Grammatology in 1967, and his lecture in Structure, Sign and Play in Discourse of the Human Science in 1966. Yeah. So we already know the guy who made it and developed it. Let's just jump into it. And what does deconstruction is, and what did it do? What did it do? And what is it? Okay, let's start. Okay. So what is the definition of the construction theory? The construction theory is a theory developed by Jacques Derrida. It is a way of reading texts that question fixed meaning, where it shows that meaning in language is not stable, but change depends on the context. Instead of one correct interpretation, the construction reveals multiple possible meanings within a text. So basically like this. If you have one word, I said, for example, love and exercise, etc. And does it always have one meaning, which is love? No. Derrida said that language is not just fixed meaning or only have one meaning. The meaning itself will change or can be changed or have possible meanings, like multiple possible meanings within that word or even the sentences, because language doesn't just stop in one place. They just don't stop in one place, and they don't have one true meaning. They don't have that. And there is said that it can have a multiple meanings based on based on the context that people use the language, based on the context and usage of the word. People can the word itself can have multiple possible meaning because of the way people use it, the way people having what is in context of what people saying in this word and something else. Okay, so let's just jump into it. What does Derrida mean by that? What does Derrida means by language not only have one meaning or one fixed meaning? Okay, let's jump into that. So as I said earlier, that language is not fixed. But what does that mean? Okay, we're going to talk about language and meaning. Language and meaning are not fixed or stable. Words do not have one permanent meaning or one true meaning. Instead, they're having a meaning based or depends on the context that what they use for and their relationship with other words. What is said and what is not said both influence how a text is understood, allowing multiple interpretation. So basically, a word or a language can have a meaning based on what it used or what the context of the word are used for, and what does the context that the language used as. And the meaning itself can be created based on the relationship of one word to another word, which is it makes another meaning. It makes the meaning itself. And language can create a meaning based on the context of what the people use the language for, more like that. And I'm going to get deeper into this type of thing in key aspect of grammatology and we're going to have that grammatology on the last one, but I'm going to explain it to you a key concept, which is binary opposition, and then logocentrism, trace, and difference. Let's just jump into it. So we already talked about definition and who made or developed the deconstruction theory and what is language and meaning based on Derrida's view. And now we're going to talk about key aspect. And the first key aspect I'm going to talk is binary opposition. So what is binary opposition? Well, we all know that each word has their own opposite. For example, like bad and good, strong and weak, and go on, etc., etc. So usually this word used to create meaning, but we need to know that usually in the Western philosophies that or tradition, that usually one of the word value more than the other. So this is create a hierarchy of word. For example, good, it's better than bad, and strong is better than weak, etc. And then Derrida came with his deconstruction theory and bumped it all, which is he believed that each pair of the word contains flaws, or like they usually need each other. So they meant to be fixing each other, or they are meant to be together to create a meaning. Therefore, like none of them are more superior than the other one. So Derrida believed that equality is more better in equality, especially in the hierarchy of the word itself. Okay, so the second key aspect of Derrida's deconstruction theory is difference. So what is difference? Difference is Derrida's idea that meaning comes from a different word, which is delayed and never fixed. When we're looking for the meaning of a word, it's usually led into another word instead of making a final definition. Well, for example, the word good, it's not just gonna stop at good, and it's going to make sense. The meaning, the good meaning, that good means good because there's another word which is bad. So if bad was disappear, good doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't make sense what does good actually mean if bad disappear. So this is, well, another example. I said like strong and weak, yeah. Like strong means strong because weak exists, and it makes sense because weak exists. So what if weak doesn't exist? What it makes strong lose its meaning, or more like we doesn't understand what is strong mean or anything else. So a word meaning need another word to create a meaning. So again, yeah, it shows that meaning in the language is always changing, because to create a meaning it will lead into another word. So basically, yeah, to have meaning from a word needs another word to create a meaning. More like this. So let's say this. A good. Okay, I'm gonna explain it more again. So a good one. A word good can make sense or have meaning good because bad exists. So what if bad doesn't exist? It will not have the meaning. So it's not just simply good has only one fixed meaning. No. And basically, as I said earlier, that the meaning will always change, depends on the other words. Yeah, good can be means another else if the binary oppositions of the good was not bad, or anything else. For example, like the meanings, it depends on the binary opposition, and yeah, the meanings come from different words. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, the third key aspect. We've talking about binary opposition. So like a word has their own pairs, and that pairs create the meaning, or usually equal and need each other. And then like there's a difference, which is meanings come from another word and the meaning will not be fixed. And there's the third key aspect, which is logocentrism. What is logocentrism? Logocentrism is a belief that language has only one central and fixed meaning or truth. It often treat one of the others like better than the other one. So like this, for example, like this. Good only have one meaning, which is only good. And then Derrida come with his deconstruction theory that said that this idea, logocentrism, he showed that with deconstruction theory, he shows that meaning is not fixed and it can be changed depending on the context or depending on the usage, as you can see, as I said earlier, on the binary opposition and the difference. So yeah, logocentrism is a belief that a word or language only have one true fixed meaning and cannot be changed, and it's actually become one of the traditional beliefs that used in Western philosophy. And then like Derrida's come with his deconstruction theory and pump everything up and make an argument, which is he said that word not just gonna stop in one meaning, it can be changed depend on the context and the usage of the word and the language. Okay, and the last key aspect is trace. What is trace? Trace means that every word carries remnants for other words and meaning with it. So a word only can make sense because of what it's not. So meaning is shaped by both present and absence. So like this, when you open the dictionary, you see have like a lot of words, right? You need to find one word in the dictionary. For example, strong. You will see that in the dictionary there will be another word. Yeah, there will be another word. But we cannot see the word. Like it's an absence. It's absent. So basically, trace means this word, a word, is carries another word remnants or meanings with it. It doesn't make sense because it does nothing. It makes sense because there's another word behind it. So like they're a trace of another word to create like the meaning of one word. So like the last thing in the construction theory is grammatology, because he published a book of grammatology. So what is grammatology? Grammatology is the study of writing and sign system that challenge the traditional belief that speech is more natural than writing. How could it possibly happen? Because back then, in Western philosophy's era, like the traditional thing, that people believe speech is it's better than the writing, because speech carries through, because there's interaction between people, while writing is just simply a text based on your mind. Because like people use speech or believe that speech is more value because there's an interaction. Meanwhile, they believe that writing is lower than speech because it doesn't have two people interaction, and like writing is only a piece of mind that written in the paper. But then Derrida argued that writing is not necessary, it's not just literally a copy of speech, but it reveals how language is actually works. So basically, he's saying that both writing and speech has their own flaws. Each of them are not better each other. They're equal and not unequal. Speech is not better than writing. Just because speech has like contained two people and it's your speak to another person, basically just with your mouth, and it doesn't mean that it was the truth. It doesn't mean that it has only one meaning. No. Meanwhile, like then the writing are not truth because you're not speak of it, because it not came from your mouth. No, Derrida's believe that both has flaws and each of them are equal, not better than anyone else. But no, like not better than the other, like for the other. So yeah, that's the only thing I can explain for the deconstruction theory, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, or I'm trying to explain of the deconstruction theory. And thank you for watching, and you guys to watch my video. Thank you, and I will come back with another videos. Bye bye.